What is the different types of normalization? So there are mainly four types of normalizations. That is 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, and BCNF. Now let me explain you the different types of normalization with an example. So guys, this is the table that we're going to consider for the example. Now you basically have to apply normalization to this particular table. Now to apply normalization to this particular table, you clearly observe that, there is Alice Johnson who has a particular address and has rented few movies from a specific category. And the category action is mentioned twice over here. Similarly, David Allen's address has been divided into two different records, and the movies rented in the categories have also been divided into two different reports, right? Now, to apply normalization to this particular table, you first have to apply the 1NF. That is the first normalized form. So for a table to be in 1NF, you need to make sure that each table cell should have a single value. So basically, all the records must be unique. So as we saw in this particular table, we had redundant values in the same record, right? So we're going to have each cell with a unique record. So we'll have records that says, Miss Alice Johnson, 4th Street, house number 3, Mission Impossible. And the second record as Miss Alice Johnson, 4th Street, house number 3, Clash of Titans. Similarly, we'll have Mr. David Allen, 3rd Street, 45 with Interstellar. Then Mr. David Allen, 3rd Street, 45 with Edge of Tomorrow. And similarly, Mr. David Allen, 7th NU, Mission Impossible Fallout. So that's how basically you get your table into 1NF. You have records with unique value in the complete table. Now, as you can see on the screen, this is a table for 1NF. Now, you have to divide this table to 2NF. So when I say 2NF, that is the second normalized form. You can divide this table into two different tables. So to have a table in 2NF, you need to make sure that, the database should be in 1NF and should also have a single column primary key. Since the table is in 1NF that we considered, that's applicable to our situation. Now let's move forward to the 2NF. Now, in the 2NF, you'll clearly see that, we have salutation, full name, address, and movies rented, right? So to divide this table into two different tables, you can clearly see that, I've added an ID to both the tables. So I've added ID, salutation, full name, and address, and ID, movies rented. So Miss Alice Johnson, staying in 4th Street, house number 3, must have rented Mission Impossible. Similarly, she must have rented Clash of Titans. Mr. David Allen, staying in 3rd Street, 45, has rented Interstellar and Edge of Tomorrow. And Mr. David Allen, staying in 7th Avenue, has rented Mission Impossible Fallout. So that's how I've divided the table into 2NF. Now moving forward to 3NF. Now, a database to be in 3NF, you need to make sure that your database is first in 2NF and must not have any transitive functional dependency. So for that, what you want to do is you want to further divide the two tables into three tables, as you can see in the screen. So we're going to have an ID, full name, address, and salutation ID. And also another table with ID, movies rented, column attribute. And the third table with salutation ID and salutation. So basically, we're going to identify Mr. with 1, Miss with 2, Mrs. with 3, and Doctor with 4. So that's how we're going to get our tables to 3NF. Well, guys, with this, we come to an end of this particular example that, our table has been completely normalized and the highest normal form available for this particular table is 3NF. Now, moving forward to the final type of normalization, that is BCNF. Now, if your database is in third normal form and there would be some scenarios where anomalies would be present, and if we have more than one candidate key, then BCNF comes into role when you further divide your table so that, there would be only one candidate key present.